It's all about the culture. It's not just about tattooing, low riding, tattoo, low riding, cars. This shit keeps me busy. I'm 10 years sober. This shop, tattooing, all these cars, that shit basically saved my life. If it wasn't for none of that shit, fuck, I don't know where I would be. But if you guys look at the shop, I got a lot going on. I've only been here 5 months. I bought the shop 5 months ago. It's in a working process. Give me 1 full year on this bad boy. I'll have everything hopefully put together. This is the secret room right here. This is where I keep all my junk. No, just kidding. We're shop, that's a 500-gallon fish tank. A walk around fish tank. I don't just tattoo, guys. I buy and sell lowriders. You guys need lowrider parts, wheels and tires. Eventually, this is what this is gonna be. I wanna sell lowrider parts, tires, start doing hydraulics. I'm gonna open up that right here. See this, all this right here? I got half acre. I got half acre just straight for everything. I think someone's calling us. Let's see who it is. Hello. I ain't got time for no bullshit. That's the bullshit phone right there. I ain't got time for that. So that's why I stay in the corner. That's where all the magic happens. And I'm gonna take you guys here. So this is available for rent. First one to give me a deposit, come look at it. It is a storefront for Foothill Boulevard. All this will be open. Like I said, guys, if you have established business and you're working at home, expand. Don't be afraid to expand your business. I guarantee you, you'll do good. You just cannot be scared. Don't be afraid to sacrifice. And sacrifice meaning get away from the house. If you got to get away from the family and the kids to expand your business, that's a sacrifice. You got to spend most of your money, that's a sacrifice. No matter what it is, you got to sacrifice this shit. No matter what you do in your industry, in your business, you got to go all out. These are all available. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who support me. I'm always willing to help you guys if you ever need anything. If you ever need a hand, just I'm there. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, friends, family, Goonies, combat sports #1 cut man in the world. Give it up for the great Mr. Stitch Duran.
What's up, my man? Hey, look at all this, and they sent me a guy named Lucky in Las Vegas. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely, brother.
Yeah, ask any questions, man. I got answers, and to me, I just call it barbershop talk, man.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Let me wipe this sweat off my forehead real quick, bro. God damn it, man.
It's my job too.
Get this sweat, sir. Brother, you make Latinos proud, man. You make them proud. I mean, you inspire a lot of young Latinos, and I just want to thank you for that.
No, of course, that's been my goal, bro. I grew up as a farm worker. I don't know if you know my life story, but I grew up in the Central Valley of California, a little town called Planada by Merced, like 1,500 people, pura raza, all farm workers. And so I grew up there, and that's why when you see the big fights, I have sponsors, and on my collar it says Planada. Planada is the name of my little town.
Yes, San Joaquin Valley.
Yeah,
right?
It's not for the world to know what Planada is, for the people of Planada to know that I'm thinking about them. So they just finished a documentary in my life called From the Fields to the Garden being Madison Square Garden. So 3 weeks ago, I went back home, bro. And the producers don't do this because they're taking it to film festivals and all that. But I needed it with what's happening with immigration and all that. And so I went back home, and guys I grew up with in the migrant camp, Hadley's camp, the ones I went to school with that we grew up as farm workers, I invited them to a private screening at the Merced Theater. Wow. And showed them the film, the documentary. And quite inspirational, man. So yeah, of course, I'm here to encourage the raza that we're no different than nobody else, man. And it's, why not? Si se puede.
Yes, sir.
So that's been my goal.
Wow. Amazing. And so when does that drop?
Well, you know, now they're doing film festivals, you know,
Okay.
and that's on them.
Yeah.
But I got to see it, and it brought tears. That's everybody's number one response, that it brought tears, because now keep in mind, people I haven't seen in 50 years, bro, 55 years.
Yeah.
You know? And I invited them because they were part of my lifestyle. But a lot of my stories were their stories. And deep inside, they went back into what was happening. Like there was one story I talked about my dad, and we never talked about our parents. But I said my dad was an alcoholic, you know, but keep in mind, in this little town, there was 3 bars and 1 store. So every time these men would go work and work hard, they'd hit the bars. And they were all alcoholics. So that affected a lot of the people that I grew up with, because I know nobody ever talked about it. So, you know.
So in this documentary, do you star in the film, or are you?
Yeah, of course, it's me.
Okay, yeah.
It's you know what happened is I got a call, and I'm the kind of guy that I wrote a book called From the Fields to the Garden, and I got a call from Zach Robinson. He was a teacher in Germany, and he contacted me, and this when I was with the UFC, and he said, "Hey man, follow you. I write books called Sports by the Numbers, and like to do a story on your life." And I said, "Yeah, I'm the kind of guy you want to do it. Let's do it. I'm here talking to you."
Yeah.
You know, and so it happens that I was going to be in Germany just by the grace of God 2 weeks later, working with Vitaly Klitschko, and he lived an hour away. So we met, and we shook hands. I said, "Man, you want to do it? Do it." I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Became a top seller on Amazon.
Wow.
So it's called From the Fields to the Garden, because I grew up as a farm worker, and my goal was to make it to Madison Square Garden. Bro, I was there 2 weeks ago. So that's from there. I got a call from these people that wanted to do a documentary on my life, and once again, you want to do it, do it. You know. But I got all these actors. Michael B. Jordan gave us some great time, and you know, their people are helping us. They're guiding us and steps of how to take it. But it's a 90-minute film, and when we watched it, people were saying, "Man, it has to be 2 parts. It's 90 minutes. It's not enough." But it's very inspirational.
Absolutely.
It's giving back and teaching that we're no different than nobody else, you know. And don't let, because you don't have the education that these guys have. That's not what counts. It's what's in your heart and what you give forward, man. So, but I told everybody, I'm going to the top. I'm taking a bus. You want to get on the bus? Vámonos.
Yes, sir.
I'm going with or without you, bro. You know.
Yes, sir.
But you're invited to go.
Absolutely.
You know. So very simple life.
Everybody's invited, but not everybody can go. And
Well,
that's usually on them.
Yeah, but you know, and I'm sure it's happened to you. I'm sure it's happened to Alex and other people that one line we're scared to cross.
Yeah.
If you don't cross it, man, you never get there.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
100%.
We've all been there.
Well, people are used to being comfortable, man, and they're scared of being uncomfortable.
100%. Yeah, take the shot, man.
Yeah.
I always told myself, hey, I know I could always go back and pick cotton, tomatoes, peaches. That I knew I had the skill with.
Is that what you were doing?
I picked everything. You ate it, I picked it, bro.
How old were you when you started picking?
Well, I was born in migrant camp. Shit.
Yeah.
I worked the fields till my senior year of high school. That's what we did.
Wow.
We're farm workers.
Yeah.
Every crop, we have almonds, walnuts, peaches, nectarines, figs, black fig, green fig, tomatoes, apricots, cotton, all that shit we picked, bro.
So if you don't know, growing up, if you don't know anything else besides that, I mean, that potentially sounds like a pretty good upbringing.
Well, family-wise, it was upbringing. You know, it was a close bond.
Yeah.
It was a familia, and that's why I invited these people that I grew up with. They meant so much to me.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, that we all had nothing, but we had each other.
Yeah.
And so that was, that's it. But you said it right there. Yeah.
You said you have a good childhood? Besides,
Well,
you know,
yeah.
the alcoholism and different things.
We didn't know about alcoholism, you know. I mean, shit. You know, I know my dad would take us to the bar, and matter of fact, we'd sit outside in the car, and ahorita vengo, mijo, bring it back of orange soda and potato chips. And my mom would come and pick us up. She'd be so pissed, man. ¿Dónde están los niños? You know, pick us up. But that was our lifestyle, you know. So yeah, we didn't know hard shit. We ate fresh fruits, vegetables.
Yeah.
My parents, my dad, my uncle, they killed cows and sheep, and I mean, we had food.
Yeah, the best of the best.
The best
food.
of the best, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never a struggle.
I mean, what's your first thoughts, just speaking on, migrants, the climate that we're living in right now with the ICE activities in California? I mean, what's your first thought?
It hurts my heart. My first thought, my only thought, it hurts my heart. It breaks my heart, because these are all the people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Man, all these years, Lucky, I never met one criminal in my life, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
All hardworking people.
they're talking, you know, human traffickers. Well, you know what? I'll tell you this too, because I never mentioned this. My mom, I'm at Coyotes.
Yeah.
I remember she helped. We brought like 3 family members from the border up to upstate Ukiah. Never forget that. And my mom dropped them off right there, but that was human trafficking. But that was helping the raza.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
fuck them. You know,
Yeah.
You know, there's different varieties. Yeah, we're not violent people at all.
Yeah.
We're giving people that they have to understand. And you know, I was just looking at a video today. The crops in, I think, Oregon, the cherries or something, 50% of them are on the ground because nobody's picking them.
Wow.
But I told people months ago, so you wait June and July and August when the crops are at the highest and there's nobody picking them, then you're going to respect us.
Backbone of California, backbone of the United States.
The United States.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. Hopefully we figure that out. Government figures that out.
Yeah.
You know? Well, from a small farm town in Northern California, the biggest stages in the world, God is good, huh?
I thank God every day, bro. Just, you know, why me? You know? I mean, the things that have happened to me and the things that are happening to me, and it blows my mind. You know, it happens all the time. And till this day, I'm just a proud Chicano, bro. I've never asked for one job. Everything that have come to me has come to me, you know, and I just can't kiss nobody's ass, man. Hey, I had a chance of working with Floyd one time, years ago, before Rafa's came on board. Floyd was having problems with his hands, and so he was going through different guys wrapping their hands. And it's one of my specialties, right? So I just happened to walk into the gym with a friend of mine, and this guy's wrapping his hands. I'm going to tell you no name, but I look at him from here to there and say, too tight, man. Yeah. So Floyd and James Prince at that time was his manager. They go into the dressing room at Top Rank, and they're coming out and they're cutting off the wraps. And I said, man, I'll wrap your hands right now. I knew I would have got the job, but out of respect to that cut man, I didn't say nothing. And then Rafael Garcia, the older man with the pins on the hat, he came on days later, got the assignment, and I'm glad he got it. It was good for him, you know. So there was a reason for everything, you know. That was crazy. I mean, and then when Rafa's passed, Floyd paid for his funeral.
Wow.
You know, Floyd just a good guy.
He's a good dude.
100% good guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, when you get deep into the trenches, lucky with these guys, and know them outside of the shadow of the boxer. Yeah. They're all good people, man.
A lot of them have come from humble beginnings, right?
Every one of them.
Yeah, every single one of them.
Every one of them. But I tell these guys, listen, I work with the baddest of the baddest of the baddest. And I say, man, you know, these guys, they're modern day gladiators. But deep inside, they're all babies. And my job is to take care of the baby. And they know that. Yeah, they know that. I'll tell you a story with Vladimir Klitschko. The last fight I worked with him, and this was after 8 years. He was a world champ, you know. And Emmanuel Stewart trained him. But we'll start off from the first fight.
Yes, sir.
The first fight, I did Ocean's 11 with him and Emmanuel Stewart, right? And Vladimir had said, well, first this is going way back, 1991, I asked Vitaly, this is when the Soviet Union first broke, we took a team of professional boxers and kickboxers to Kiev to fight them. And at that time, I had Mark Longo, a kickboxer from Colorado. And the Klitschkos at that time were young, but they were already stars. They had posters and all that. So when they started training here at Top Rank with Kenny Adams, I went and introduced myself to them, Vitaly and Vladimir. And I told them about my experience in Kiev. And the next day I brought the poster. Yes, I remember this and that. So anyway, the movie Ocean's 11 comes out where they're robbing the casino and him and Lennox Lewis are going at it. So I was the cut man for Vladimir in the movie. So he's the one that tells Emmanuel, I want the guy that was my cut man in the movie to be my cut man for the fights. Nice. So the first fight here at Caesar's Palace, he had just lost his world title to Lehman Brewster. His first comeback fight with Emmanuel Stewart. And he's fighting DeVero Williamson. And winning the first 3 rounds, he was winning. Looked good, looked okay, but he won them. I always look at him as a judge. In the 4th round, you know, he gets dropped. Bam, okay, all right, so still 3 rounds to 2. I'm still looking at it. On the 5th round, they get the unintentional headbutt, and he gets that big old cut right here, that big vein that bleeds like a pig, right? I know, I work with him all the time in the UFC. So at that time, I told him and Vitaly, Emmanuel's on this side, and I'm on that side, and I tell Vitaly and Vladimir, I said, look, you got a back cut, you're winning the fight, I'm gonna have the doctor stop the fight. And Emmanuel didn't hear nothing, man. So when the doctor comes, she already knew me because I've worked all these fights. Well, what do you think, Stitch? I go like this, bro, I open it up. Said, yeah, it's pretty bad. Stopped the fight, went to the scorecards, he ended up winning the fight. Became world champion for 8 years. So going fast forward, in the last fight in Wembley Stadium, 90,000 crazy Brits, I'm working I see him Friday at the weigh-ins because my daughter Carla had just gotten married in Greece. And so I saw him Friday and I'm talking to him and finally I go like this. I said, look, don't worry about nothing tomorrow. I'm gonna take care of you like you're my son. And I leave.
Yeah.
Right? I know they guys can't sleep at nights, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm putting the final Vaseline on him, bro. And all these crazy people, Michael Buffer's doing the announcements. He's like this, he says, you could call me son. Oh, man. That's, Yeah. And they interviewed him for this documentary in Kiev.
Wow.
But he brought that point up.
Wow.
That, can I call you dad, he says. So those are the moments, I'm telling you, they're gladiators. They're warriors, they're warriors. But deep inside, they're all humans. They're all babies.
Yeah.
And I've had parents, mothers, fathers, husbands, wives come and say, thank you, man, for taking care of my
son or daughter.
Yeah. So whoever,
Yeah.
It's a great thing about my job, bro.
When I see you in the corner of anyone's corner, combat sports, you add value. When I see you in someone's corner, I'm like, all right, these guys mean business. I mean, you are that guy. You are that dude.
Yep.
You a bad motherfucker. You like a rock star, man.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
And you make it look cool too, bro.
Yeah, it's the face, bro. The glasses, the mustache, the trademark, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a blessing, just to work with all these guys and to be recognized like that. But I'm still that little Chicano growing up as a farm worker.
Yeah.
I ain't no different. I've never changed. That's what people say, Jacob, you never change. So real quick, Michael B. Jordan, the third movie I'm doing with him, because I've been with him all these movies.
Yeah, with all the creeds, right?
And wrapping his hands every day, just him and I. I said, Michael, do you know my real name? He says, Stitch. I said, no. Do you know my real name? He says, I don't. Hey, anybody know Stitch's real name? So where's Jacob? And man, you don't look like a Jacob. That's in the documentary. he brought that up. Yeah, you don't look like a Jacob. And I don't. Fuck, I hated my name.
Yeah.
I was Rudy and Pancho and Jake, Alex and all these, and I was Jacob.
Yeah.
So how in the hell I gave him a name like Jacob? My mom said, well, Miguel came from the Bible.
Yeah.
So,
well, mine too. My name is Jeremy. Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Out of the Bible. My pops got out of the Bible, said to Jeremiah, he said, hey, I'm going to change it up a little, Jeremy. Yeah. And so people see and they're like, hey, you don't look like a Jeremy. So me and you, I can relate with you
so
like
of course,
that.
Yeah.
Just call me Lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, what initially drew you to becoming a cutman and how did you get your start?
Well, you got to read the book, bro.
Okay. Where do we get the book?
Amazon.com. And
if it's 3 pages, I can read it right now.
So here's what happened is, I always wanted to play baseball.
Yeah.
Well, we played baseball. Every year we always played baseball. Farm workers would come in from Mexico and play ball against these guys. I'm 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. But I played 4 years varsity ball and I walked on to Merced College. It's like 9 miles away from my town.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a car. So I would go to school with friends and after school they would leave and I'd stay and practice and have to do this, right? So I joined the Air Force, 1972, April. And then I always said if I went to the Orient, I'd want to study the martial arts. That was during the Bruce Lee era.
Yeah.
And they sent me to a place called Thailand. Shit, I didn't even know what Thailand was. And I had friends that were already there like 3 months before me. And they invited me downtown to Banchan to see some fights. So I'm thinking boxing, right? Yeah. And this is Muay Thai, bro. This guy threw a kick, knocked the guy out, and I said, boop, I'm in. So on the base, they had Taekwondo. Yeah. Well, Taekwondo, Thailand, to me, I didn't know no difference. Korean. But they worked with us for a while, and then they left, and the Thais took over and all that. But that's how I got started, and got back to Oakland and opened up a school of kickboxing. Well, I got into boxing in Oakland, and I trained amateur fighters, and then I opened up a school of kickboxing, and I was a trainer and a promoter, and I had to learn to be a cutman because all my guys got cuts and elbows. Yeah. That's how I learned to be a cutman.
Thank you for your service.
Oh no, of course it changed my life.
Yeah.
It literally changed my life, and my brothers, my family didn't know I studied the martial arts. I got home and I had to show my brother that my foot literally up against the wall, and then my brother's holding the glove, and I kick it, and you know, just blew their mind. Wow, shit!
Wake up in the morning, you're doing the Van Damme splits on two chairs.
Yeah, exactly. And I could do that. I was telling them my greatest thing was when I could stretch.
Yeah.
You know, to the fact, you know, so yeah, that's how I got started.
Awesome. So you work with countless fighters. What qualities makes a fighter stand out to you beyond their skill?
Personality, man. Everything's personality. Yeah, literally, if you were an asshole, I wouldn't work with you.
Yeah,
I don't need it. You know, I don't.
It's
need
not worth the money.
Nah, it's not worth it. You know. But it's funny you say that because Marco Antonio Barrera, when I did his interview, he asked me a question that's never been asked. He goes, "Has a fighter ever disrespected you?" I said, "Man, nah." You know, because I come in under different circumstances.
Yeah.
My job's to take care of you.
Yeah.
Why would you want to mess with me? But no, never.
Exactly.
And I've had many of these guys, they lucky that a hug and a kiss and I love you.
Yeah.
You know, that happens. You know. And like Caleb Plant, I tell people, shit, Caleb, he's my friend, but I'm scared of him. He just his look, right? But
I like Caleb.
I love you.
I'll fuck with him.
Yeah. I love Caleb too, man.
I liked his couple comeback fights that he's had in recent times.
Good
I
kid.
was rooting for him.
Yeah.
What's the most intense or high pressure moment you've experienced during a fight, and how did you handle it?
Well, sure, they're all high pressured fights. Composure. You know, I'm trying to think which ones. I mean, I've done so many, right?
Probably the one you were just talking about with the cut on the forehead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Klitschko,
Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah.
That was a defining moment, not only for Vladimir, because he became champion for 8 years in a row, but also Deverell Williamson. And we ended up being friends. He goes, man, you changed my whole life, man. I could have been better. I could have been the world champion. And lo cagaste. You shit the stick on me, man. Because I did. I saved Vladimir's career.
Awesome.
You know,
That's
but
amazing.
I ruined Deverell Williamson's. He could have, should have been a world champion, you know, and he was that far away from it, and I took it away from him. But Jay Nady, the referee on that instance, I see him like 2 shows down the road a couple of months later. He says, Stitch, come here, man. Did you do what I thought you did? Did you open up that cut in front of the doctor? I said, I did. He said, man, that was ingenious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
because you already knew he was ahead, like you said. Right?
Yeah.
He was already winning the fight.
I was hoping he was ahead because we wouldn't be talking right now if he would have lost, right?
Yeah.
And but no, I made judgment on that.
But that's only in boxing that rule applies, right? Not the UFC.
As to what?
As into like, so if
so many rounds? But no, because the maximum they go is 5.
Okay.
So it's tough to give them that type of opportunity.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah, it's a little different there.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Can you walk us through your mental process between rounds? How do you assess damage and prioritize what needs attention?
It's a good question, man. My whole focus is on your face.
Yeah.
Everything is on your face, you know, and I'm, you know, on the outside, I'm looking at, you know, what kind of damage you're creating, what kind of damage you're getting. But I always, because working with Top Rank, I work with a lot of their new fighters, and I'll tell them, I said, look, man, I'm going to keep ice on you every round. I'm not going to wait till you start swelling up. I'm going to do a lot of preventing maintenance and keep you down and all that. Right off the bat, that gives them a point of encouragement.
Yeah.
You know, but composure is number one for me. And I think there was can't remember who it was in kickboxing. He got cut, and he says, oh, man, I got cut. But, oh, shit, I know I got stitched. Andre Ward said that.
Yeah.
I got cut, and then Andre said, nah, but I'm okay. I got stitched in my corner. You know, so
And that makes a difference.
Makes a difference, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
And it's funny you brought that up early in your conversations, Lucky. With people, you know, I bring a different caliber in the corner.
Yes.
Well, I worked with this one guy. He was making his pro debut, and he won. But on the other corner, after the fights, we're in the back of the dressing rooms, and the guy says, man, when I saw you in the corner, I knew we were going to lose. So to that point, bro, I knew we were going to lose. You know,
I mean, are you usually on the winning team?
There's a high probability, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. I think Karen Bryant, when I was with the UFC, said, you know, since you got like an 85% win ratio.
Sheesh.
So,
shout out to hoodstocks. We winning right now, baby. Look what we got in the corner.
Yeah. Hey, but I just help them win, man.
Yeah,
you know, but I'm part of the team.
Brother, you helping me win right now. You're helping this platform win, and I just, once again, thank you so much.
No, I tell you, it's a pleasure. Man.
Yeah. Okay, so what are the biggest misconceptions people have about your job?
And anybody could do it.
Hey.
I get questions all the time. Doctors, paramedics, nurses, EMTs, you know, just housewives. And hey, man, I want to do what you do. I'm studying this in school. I'm doing this and all that. I said, look, here's what you got to do. And it's the truth. You got to spend hours and days and weeks and months and years in the gym. you got to be one of them mentally, physically, understand what they're going through. And during that process, you know, you start wrapping hands for free. That's your business card. You know, I'll start wrapping your hands, and, you know, hopefully they'll see some benefit in that, and maybe they'll bring you in to work one of the fights and work a corner. And then from there, you start working on the next phase, which would be a cutman. What do you do with the medications, and how do you work on the swelling, and why do you work out this way, and, you know, how do you protect the hands? All these little points of interest, you got to learn a lot through experience.
Are there only certain ointments that are allowed to be used?
Yes, good question. The ABC, in fact, they just finished their conference in New Orleans day before yesterday, Association of Boxing Commissions. But there's three medications that are authorized. The adrenaline chloride 1000, that's the basic one on the swab that you see us with on the cuts.
Yeah.
That's a vasoconstrictor. And I always tell these young fighters, and your fans will learn, I always tell these young fighters, if you're looking for a cut man, ask him what the adrenaline chloride 1000 does.
Yeah.
What's the mechanical function? If a guy tells you it's a coagulant, get another cut man. That's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
It's a vasoconstrictor. But see, nobody is there to teach them, right? That's why when you see me work on a cut, Lucky, I'll squeeze it first, and I'll take the blood out of those little veins, little capillaries, so it'll be nice and clean. And when I put the swab there, it absorbs into the veins, and it'll close them up like a water hose.
Jeez.
So see, but everybody
You're giving up too much game right now, bro.
Well, no, and you know, and no, but you know, in the old days, they would think it was a secret. Ain't no secret to this. My job is to teach, bro.
Yeah.
When I was learning, I never forget when I was back in the Bay Area and I had my school of kickboxing, I was learning to be a cut man. You asked that question.
Yeah.
Marvis Frazier, the son of Joe Frazier, fought Bone Crusher Smith in Richmond, California. And I went to go see the fights, and this guy did a good job on cuts. So I went and asked him, I said, hey man, you know, trying to be a cut man, and can you tell me what you did? He says, fuck you. He goes, I'm taking this to my grave, and you got to learn like me, and he walked away.
Yeah.
Felt about this big, man. I said, piece of shit. Never going to be like him. And I was going to teach. Now I go back with Andre Ward, you know, my name's gotten bigger, and Andre Ward's undisputed champ, and he forgot about, I've mentioned this, never mentioned his name once, done it hundreds of times. Now him and his son want to take a picture with me. So I said, all right, I won. You know?
Yeah, that's right, brother.
Yeah, that's how you beat him, man.
Yes, sir.
To this day, you don't even know, you know, so it's not important.
Has your approach to cuts and swelling changed over the years with new techniques or tools?
Same technique, same tools, unfortunately. So we're talking about the medications.
Yeah.
So the other two are thrombin and avatine. Thrombin and avatine are both coagulants. Thrombin is the liquid form, and the avatine is like a cotton candy. And I used that on Forrest Griffith when he fought Shogun. He had that big old cut. Yeah. That's why I've worked on those cuts before. But they're very expensive. They're like $300. The adrenaline now, the bottle's like $300.
Wow.
But there's a there's a one called Quick Aid that's 100% natural that doesn't require prescription. All these other three require prescription. It doesn't require prescription. It's a 2x2 gauze. It's made out of a seaweed base. And I'm the one that introduced it to the boxing world. And for these guys that can't get a medication, you get the Quick Aid.
Yeah.
And what you do is you apply it on the cut, and it dehydrates the blood, and it works great. You know, so they get them in 2x2s. I tell them, cut them in half. That way you get two for the price of one.
Yeah.
You know, and because you don't want to use the whole, you'll waste it. But that's at Cutman for Hire Supplies. He carries it. I'm a big supporter of Juan Ramirez, and so he could get it there. Quick Aid.
So, being a cut man, those are tools of the trade. Those are everything you have in your toolbox, and obviously, them being so expensive, when you get hired as that all gets put into the bid or the contract, right?
Yeah.
You cover all your.
I cover my own expenses. Yeah, of course.
For sure.
You know. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I try to help out as many people, like especially like Quick Aid.
Yeah.
You know, the guy says, hey man, you don't take a rocket scientist. You know, if you're in the gym or if you're working fights and you don't have a cut, man, guy gets cut, squeeze it, clean it, and put it in there for about 40, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Very simple.
There it is there.
Even you can do it, man.
Yeah, no, I think I can, brother. I think I can. First, I got to try to pull this off right here, though. All right. You've been in the corner for some of the biggest names in the sport. Which moment or fight meant the most to you personally, and why?
Well, that Vladimir Klitschko one had
Yeah.
jumps right on top, bro. I mean,
100%.
there's been too many great fights, but that one just for the moment of you could call me son.
Yeah.
That was quite impactful. So the last time I saw Vladimir, even till now, was like 3 months later in Germany.
Okay.
I had to show up in Germany. He was there, and So I asked him very simply, I said, Vladimir, that one moment, why? Oh, yes. He says, Stitch, he goes, there's very few people I trust in my life. You are one of them.
Damn.
That's it.
That's solid,
I'm telling you,
bro.
man, it's solid, bro. You don't think it
that's
blows my
solid,
mind?
bro. Yeah.
Shit, come on, man.
Well, you know, the people in these, like you said, these are modern day gladiators.
Yep.
These dudes are going to war, and you were on the battlefield with them in a sense, right?
Yeah, when I'm wrapping their hands, I tell them, hey, man, look, this is like the old days in the dungeon, man. I'm either putting the armor on you,
Yeah.
you know, before you go out there and, you know, fight the lions or fight your opponents and all that. Yeah, it's step one. Yeah, I'm right there. I have guys that cry and guys that laugh and different, you know, personalities. Because Vitor Belfort, Frank Mir says, when I see Stitch walking into the dressing room, I know it's time to fight.
Yeah.
To wrap his hands.
Yeah.
You know, and then Vitor Belfort says, when I see Stitch, this is the UFC days. When I see Stitch walking into the dressing room, even though I know he's working with the other team, he brings that calming effect. You know, so reality kicks in for them at that point. And he knows, you know, we're here to take care of you.
Stitch, did you say calming effect?
A calming effect,
Yeah.
He brings that calming effect like, oh, shit, all right.
I mean, before meeting you today, but seeing you for many years, you know, in the corners or, you know, outside of the UFC ring, you know, putting the stuff on people's faces, I'm sorry. It always comes across through the TV screen that you're a calm person, calm, cool, and collective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could ask me how. I always tell myself it's not my cut.
Right? Yeah.
I ain't getting the shit beat out of me. You know? No, just kidding. But yeah, that's composure's number one.
Yeah.
Entirely number one. How many guys you see in there doing this? You know, because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How do you handle the emotional weight of being so close to the fighters, especially when they lose or get hurt?
You know, I always treat them the same. You know, whether they win or lose, and you know, don't forget them. You know, and some guys you lose, boom, you're gone. You know, but no, you're there with them. It's quite emotional for these guys when they win and when they lose.
Yeah.
You know, and but when they lose under circumstances like that, it's a little bit more difficult to try to bring them up. I'll give you a story of Andre Duran when he fought Jose Esquerregui, the second fight. If you remember the first fight, Andre had won, and Andre's coach, his uncle, went through the other corner and cracked Esquerregui and dropped him. Boom. There was a big old fight going on. Anyway, on the second fight, Andre Duran, it's a rematch, but he's taking the kind of shots that I consider will give you long-term damage, dementia pugilistica and all that. Get punch here, it comes out here, right? And I'm looking, and two doctors are talking, and I get into the ring, and I'm working on him. It's just him and I said, look, the doctors are thinking of stopping the fight. You want to continue? And he goes, it's a small no. I said, done. Well, Virgil Hunter and his coach, no, one more round. Nope. As long as he said no, I'm stopping the fight. Nobody knew what was going on, right?
Yeah.
Stopped the fight. Of course, he lost. But the next day, about 8 a.m, him and his wife called me. And they say, Stitch, I want to thank you for stopping the fight because I had nothing in me. And then I saw him when Benavidez fought here at the MGM.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him in years, bro. Stitch, man, give me a hug. Love you, man. He says, because of you, I'm speaking well.
Ah, yeah.
So, you know, those are stories, man, that I got to tell you. It's just, and they're all true. You know?
So you have the liberty to stop a fight if you're working the corner as a cutman?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah.
I thought it would just maybe be only on the coach, the trainer.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, you know, the doctors have a lot more confidence in me than they do a lot with the trainers.
Yeah.
You know, like Richard Steele said in a film that I interviewed him, he said, you know, and Joe Cortez, I always look and see who the cutman is. And if it's a credible cutman, they'll give you those opportunities to work, right? And so they look at that, yeah.
Nice. What's one lesson you've learned from the fight game that you carry into your everyday life?
To treat everybody with respect in the same category. I mean, everybody with respect, you know. Nobody's different than anybody else, you know, and help anybody. I get questions all the time, and people want to learn, and I'll teach them. You know, I put a video out. It's called Giving the Fighter One More Round. It's only $50, bro. And it's to show how to wrap hands for boxing, how to wrap hands for MMA,
Okay.
how to work the Enswell, how to work the medications. Everything that I do, I put it in a video form so these people can learn. It's only $50. If you want to learn how to wrap hands, it's only $10 to rent. So I'm not doing it to make the money. I give it to my kids actually.
Okay.
And but it's for them to learn by watching a video, and that's available at stitchduran.com. But
What
it's
is it?
education.
What is it called again? What's
It's
it?
giving the fighter one more round,
Okay.
and that's at stitchduran.com. Yeah.
StitchDuran.com.
Stitchduran.com.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did about 3 months ago. It just, you know what? My legacy is to teach.
Nice.
And that's how I want to be remembered.
Have you always carried that same thought, or now that you're at this plateau in your life where you've accomplished so much that now you want to, push forward, or have you always taught the entire time?
Yeah,
Okay.
all that comes from Planada, growing up.
Yeah.
My parents always gave back. My parents always fought for the rights of the farm workers with Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
They did the walk from Delano to Sacramento. They walked through our little town. So we've always given back, and that's always been our nature.
Nice.
It's never been about money. It's always been about just, why not? Si se puede.
Yes, sir.
So
you become, I put a bit, but more than a bit of a celebrity. I mean, appearing in movies and becoming a recognizable figure. How has that changed your relationship with the sport?
nothing, not at all.
Not at all.
No, but it's funny. Okay. It's funny because before the old thing, oh, you're the guy from the UFC. But they still stop me, right?
Yeah.
You're the guy from the UFC. And then it was, hey, man, you're the guy from boxing, huh? But now, hey, man, you're in the Creed movies, huh?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, it's, I tell you, to this day, I've never asked for one job. It's been a blessing. And I think in the first Creed movie, I'm 6 weeks in Philadelphia, and I'm talking to Sylvester Stallone on break, and I said, man, I can't sleep at nights, man. I said, well, what's up? I said, I'm here with you and Michael B. and Ryan Coogler and Tessa, and he puts his hand on my shoulder. He says, hey, man, you're here because you earned it. I said, wow. And then I'll tell you another little thing behind the scene.
Sick.
In the script, my name was Marcel.
Yeah.
Well, who do you know named Marcel? I don't know anybody. So, and I said, I got to change it somehow. But it was time when Rocky introduced us to Adonis in the beginning of the movie. He's the one that says, oh, this is Stitch, the best cut man in Philadelphia. Bro, you don't think my heart started beating?
Nice.
Shit. And the next day I say, hey, man, I want to thank you. He goes, no. He goes, it has to be authentic.
So he changed it.
He changed it. Who's going to tell Rocky? Yeah.
Hell no.
Who's going to tell Rocky? No, he's Marcel. I said, no, I ain't. And and then another little piece that was unscripted was, remember when Rocky got sick and he threw up during the gym and he's doing pads with Michael B. Jordan and Adonis, and then he throws up. Well, in the scene, we had just left, all right? And in Philadelphia, it's snowing. So the gym is on the second floor. So we're on the stairs waiting for them, filming and all that. All of a sudden I hear Stitch, and I said, no, maybe it's part of the movie. Well, it was. The next day I'm wrapping Michael's hands. I said, Michael, look, man, I don't kiss nobody's butt, bro. I said, but here's the facts on what you just did. When you yelled Stitch, my first reaction was to react. But in reality, as the movie went, we had just left. And you know that my job was to take care of you. So when Rocky got sick, the first one you thought about was me. And that's why you yelled out, Stitch. That wasn't in the script. It's in the movie.
Wow.
Stitch, yeah.
That's
I'm
sick,
telling
bro.
you, man. Yeah. And look at that. Gives me chills.
Sheesh.
I'm telling you, man. That's all behind the scenes stuff. And yeah.
Wow.
Kevin James on Here Comes the Boom.
Yeah.
I didn't have no lines. And you get lines, you get residuals, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking 2 weeks before I even get there, man. But when it was time for me to do my scene with Kevin James, he pulls me aside. Stitch, we got to have you say something, man.
Yes.
So I'm doing the pendejo move. Well, I always tell the guys, welcome to the UFC. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So I'm working on him. What they call me. I'm working on him. Oh, Stitch, man. Big fan of you. Can't believe you're working on me. And I'm like this. I said, psh. Well, welcome to the UFC. And I leave. I give him a cachetada. He didn't know I was going to slap him, right? So I said, boom, welcome to the UFC. Everybody started laughing, man. And it was a one take. I was going to slap you, but I figured I've been out, man.
You got me a little right there, bro.
But I get residuals with
You got
that.
heavy hands, bro.
Yeah. I get residuals with that, man. So that was nice of his part.
Yeah. He's like, I need you to get a check. A real check.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because we brought.
We don't need you as no background around
right,
here.
exactly.
You're bigger than background.
Yeah, and it was funny, man, because the ring girls at that time thought that they should have had preferred treatment, a trailer, and all that.
Yeah.
And they were all bitching. They sent them back.
Yeah.
They got 2 extras on that were just as nice looking,
Yeah.
So that was it. Yeah, you're out. You know, well, we want our own trailer. No, yeah, go home. Go home to where you grew up.
Here's an address. Unemployment office.
Que gacho. Que gacho. All right.
Babe, we still rolling good right there? Amazing. Thank you. Shout out to my girl. I got my girl right here on the engineering this exclusive interview.
Remember, I could be your agent.
Yes. Right? Damn. I was like, damn, how'd she get an agent before me? Okay. What advice would you give someone aspiring to become a professional cutman today?
Well, the same information I just told you. You spend hours and days and weeks and months and years in the gym, you know, and having a passion for that. But I also tell them, if you do it for the money, you do it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you got to spend hours and days and weeks in the gym, you know, and pick up that video. I'm doing a seminar in Tijuana, September 20th. I did one in Mexico City. Guadalajara. Did one in Mexico City. You know, so I do, and there I charge money.
Yeah.
You know, but on this video, it's more of gratuity, giving back.
Yeah, shit. Let me get one of them videos, bro. I'm gonna start dubbing them.
$50, man.
I'm gonna be on the corner.
Hey,
25.
$50.
You get them from 25.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Hey, you can be my agent.
So this is I had 13 questions written out for you. This is the 13th question.
13 is my lucky number, by the way.
Okay, good. Okay, so if you could see one of these two banger fights, which one would you pick? First fight would be this: John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, or Prime Rampage Jackson versus Dana White.
Oh, Rampage and Dana. Hell yeah. You know, it is funny because Tom, the new generation of UFC fighters, I don't know.
Yeah.
But John Jones, when I did their first dirty boxing show in Miami, and I saw John Jones, and I said, man, I just want to let you know, because I have my own Stitch tape, right?
Yeah.
Stitch premium tape. I want you to know, man, when you fought Chael Sonnen, he broke his toe. I don't know if you remember this fight. You might be too young. But his toe was literally like this. And the doctor says, what do you think, Stitch? I said, oh, shit, it's broken.
Yeah.
He's asking me, right? So, but I get the toe and I pop, and then I taped it with Stitch premium tape, right?
Yeah.
The cameras picked up on it. I said, man, you were my first commercial.
Yeah.
Marketing 101, you know.
100%.
Yeah, but John Jones is a bad man.
Product placement, baby. Dana White. When was the last time you talked to Dana White?
Oh gosh, before he fired me, you know.
Before he fired you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been like bad blood since then?
No, there's no blood. Which best thing ever happened
just
to me,
moved
bro.
on. How about that?
Yeah. Hey, best thing ever happened to me, man. But it was funny because last week was my 10th anniversary when the UFC let me go.
Yeah.
And but I became the face of the rebellion. Till now, people stop me and hey, man, thank you, and you know, for protecting the fighters. But you know, keep in mind this. Do you know what happened?
Well, you guys, it was in regards to sponsors. You were getting paid to have your sponsor patches, and then Reebok bought it out, and now they no longer let you get the money on the side.
Well, not only me, but everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Right?
Everybody, and you know.
But when Reebok buys it out, does that put money in your pocket?
No. What happened is they wouldn't, without letting the fighters know, they went into Reebok exclusive, and guys were making bank, bro. They were making more money on sponsors than they were with the fights.
Yeah,
I was making more money on sponsors. Watches, because my hands are always on TV.
Yeah.
I give watches away, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I saw yours when I came in. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't need one, but I do.
So then they called all the cutmen together, and they told us, you know, you guys can't have sponsors no more.
Yeah.
So when they would sponsor me, let's say Bad Boy or Tap Out, I would negotiate for you and you. So you wouldn't get what I would get, but I would negotiate, and you get some money.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I was doing with these guys. I was always representing them, and but I tried to negotiate for more money, and so now there's no money in the kitty. So I said, all right. So anyway, this guy John Nash, and they got him in the documentary. Never met him before in my life. He was a sports writer. I don't know how he contacted me or what. Never met him, but he called and says, would you be interested in doing an interview how the Reebok deal affected the cutmen?
Yeah.
And I said, of course. And I thought, first of all, about my parents, because my parents fought for the rights with Cesar Chavez, for the farm workers.
Yes, sir.
And so we've always fought for the underdog. And I said, yeah, I have to, you know. So the interview was very politically correct. I mean, I worked corporate America for 23 years. I understood the structure.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, maybe I got to find another job. Or maybe I got to work a little bit more in boxing. And I guess Dana didn't like that. And my wife and I are at Costco, and I get a call, and they're my friends. We're all friends at that point, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, do you have time to talk? And I knew what it was about. I'm getting shitloads of messages, and, you know. And I said, no, give me, you know. So I got home, and my 2 friends call, and his voice is cracking. He says, hey, man, because of the interview you did about Reebok, the UFC's not going to use you no more. And talk about an uppercut. And his voice was cracking, so I know he felt bad telling me.
Yeah.
I said, all right, well, you know, do me a favor. You tell Dana, I said, he ain't got no balls, that he should have called me first, since he's the one that brought me in, you know. And the first guy I get, his name was David Estrada. I'm getting messages all over. Want you to be first to know. UFC just let me go, speaking out about the Reebok deal. Got to find a new job. Bro, I did 57 interviews in a week. Biggest thing in MMA. Biggest thing. I had camera crews coming in my house.
Yeah.
Literally, biggest thing in MMA. And then 2 weeks later, they have their first big show on Fox Network. And it's still a hot topic, biggest topic in MMA. And I'm getting support from all over the world, bro. I mean, and so Karen Bryant's asking Dana, go to YouTube, you'll find it. Well, what about Stitch Duran ever coming back? Nah, Stitch will never be back, and you know, so-and-so, and he should have this and that, and call him and this and that. Then at the end, he blows it and saying, Stitch and I were never friends.
Yeah.
That's still slapping him in the face, dummy. You know, there was no need for that. So I became the face of the rebellion.
Wow.
You know, till now. And Goldberg comes up to me, hey man, wrestler.
Goldberg.
Hey man, F Dana, man, a lot of respect for you, man. You this and that. But the best compliment I ever got, Wesley Snipes, hey man, UFC did you wrong.
Yeah.
Till now. But the best one I ever got was a top Brazilian coach. I'm not gonna mention his name. I saw him during the bubble for boxing. He comes up to me and says, and I haven't seen him in 7, 8 years. Steve, he says, we, the coaches, the fighters, we thank you for speaking up because we couldn't.
Yeah.
Bro, that's it at all.
Yeah.
That's it at all.
Wow.
You know.
So you knew there was going to be repercussions or potential repercussions.
Yeah, of course.
You
Well,
said
Well, hey, man, listen, the ring girls, and probably still now, ring girls during that time getting paid more than the cutman.
Wow.
You know.
Well, it blew my mind. And shout out to the big dog, the OG referee, Popeye Ray.
Popeye.
Hooked us up right here. Love you, my G. I appreciate you, OG. It blew my mind. I interviewed him, at the studio recently, and he told me that refs, or he gets paid like what, $3,500 a fight, and for some reason, and it, you know, these are $1 million purses in some of these fights, and I kind of just like, I felt like they should get paid a little more than that. Yeah. Are you? I'm not trying to get into your pockets or anything like that, but do you guys get paid a similar amount of money?
Well, for me, it's you know, I don't know. I think with judges or referees, the bigger the fight is, the more you get paid.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what their base salaries are and all that, but I'm a little different than all the other ones because I work with a lot more higher profiles.
You're an independent contractor.
Yeah, I'm an independent contractor, but I work a lot on. Then it used to be, you know, you get 2%. Well, that's when these guys weren't making $100 million.
Yeah.
You know, so you work on a solid base.
Okay.
You know, and I have an agreement with that, and
that's
I try to teach these other cutmen. I said, look, you have to establish your price with them.
Yeah.
Whatever your price is, whatever the details are, what, where, when, and how. Yes. And then even if you just transmit it to him in text, hey, look, I agree to this. I'll see you then, and look forward to getting paid here. That's a contract. Very simple.
Yeah.
And everybody should do that, but nobody does. So I try to teach them. On how to maximize your potentials. But as you get into the bigger fights, then of course, and the more the guys make, then you're entitled to a little bit more too.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it's funny because I did an interview 2 weeks ago in Cincinnati, or Cleveland, and the next day we're talking about Devin Haney and Brian Norman fighting together in Saudi Arabia. And I'm talking about that fight. I said, I worked with both of them when they were champs. You know, the next day, Devin Haney's dad called me, Bill Haney, hey, Stitch, how you doing, man? I said, man, I was just talking about you guys last night. I did an interview. I said, I know, I heard it. That's why I called you. I want to book you before Brian Norman calls you and books you. I said, all right, first, you both got my number.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the kind of stuff I go through.
Yeah.
So at that point, you know, you got a lot more negotiation power. You know, okay, you want me? Okay, we're good. You know.
How was it working in Mike Tyson's corner?
Super. You know, I've known Mike since, God, I mean, I've been here 30 years. And we used to train at the same gym. And that was before he even had his tattoos and all that.
Yeah.
And, but I always wanted to do pads because I was a coach. I used to love doing pads. And Panama Lewis called me to do pads for Mike. So I did a couple of weeks of pads, and then he left to, he was getting some kind of problems, and he came back from Fraser Road, started working with him.
Yeah.
But so we've always been, communications and all that. But yeah, to work with him against Jake Paul those are all fun fights.
Yeah.
I think I've done like 6 of those.
Yeah.
Logan Paul with KSI, Jake Paul, I think about 3 or 4 of them. And those are more entertainment events.
Do you think they're watering down the sport of boxing?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, you know what? If anything, what Jake Paul is doing, all these promoters should be doing.
Yeah.
Is paying these guys fairly.
Yeah, he's paying them fairly.
Is paying them fairly, and
he just covered Ben Askren's medical bill for his double lung transplant, right?
My point, yeah,
It's a solid dude.
It's 100%. And I'll tell people because I knew them when they were just starting.
Yeah, they were kids, YouTubers.
But when they first started fighting.
Okay, yeah.
And like say with Logan Paul and when he fought KSI, I didn't know who these guys were. Shit, realized that they all had like 20 million followers and all that. Blew me away because we're at the Staples Center and you get all these young guys, Justin Bieber and all these guys. Nobody knew who I was.
Yeah.
But everybody knew who these other guys were.
Yeah.
As their shit's a different world.
Yeah. So they're introducing you to their platform.
Yeah, to their platform.
And now they know who you are.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which adds value.
But exactly, but what Jake Paul is doing, that's the curriculum that should be established for fights. Let's pay these guys fairly.
Yes.
I'll let you look at it when we're done. About 25 years ago, I put a film together called Boxer's Nightmare. And I was nobody. I was still Stitch in the beginning. Yeah. But what happened is I did an interview in a magazine. Then it was magazines. Videos were like this were non-existent.
Yeah.
And this young kid, John Barnhouse, just graduated from the American Film Institute in LA. And he called me and said, "Hey man, I see you want to do videos. I just graduated. I'd be glad to help you out, no cost." Man, we ended up putting a documentary together called Boxer's Nightmare that kind of blew me away. We never did nothing because I was nobody.
Yeah.
Right? And so he passed away about 1.5 years ago, and I hadn't seen this film in over 20 years, bro. Everybody I have in there are all Hall of Famers. Everyone, Mike, before he got his tattoos.
Yeah.
And I mean, all these legends, Mills Lane, Richard Steele, Joe Cortez, Manuel Stewart, Chuck Bodak, all the issues that are happening now were happening then, we talked about, and they had answers, and nothing's ever been done. So I looked at this film, and I said, shit, man, I can't let this film go to sleep. I'll let you look at it, man.
Okay.
And maybe we could talk about it later.
Yeah.
But it deals with all the problems they have, and these guys had solutions. Mike Tyson says, and let's just look at some of the clips. Mike says, guys like me, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Oscar De La Hoya, when we fight, let's give some of this money to these guys. We don't need it. We're taken care of.
Yeah.
But let's give it to these guys. Very simple solution for pension, for insurance.
Yes.
Mark Ratner, that was with the commissioner. Now he's with the UFC. He says the money comes from the pay-per-view. So you imagine you're a promoter and you say, you know what, I'm going to charge $69.99 for this fight, but I'm going to charge $70.99 for this fight, and $1 goes to this program for these fighters.
Yes.
Who wouldn't buy?
Absolutely.
And that's never been done. So I'm going to bring that shit out, bro.
Absolutely.
And now that I have a lot more credibility and people know me and I'm going to bring it out but I'm going to interview now MMA fighters because it affects them.
Yeah.
There's some guys I've spoken to, I haven't seen in 10 years that now they have that slurred speech.
Yeah, look at BJ Penn, man. He's out there in Hawaii losing his head.
And Nam Phan, I saw a video of him. He had just come into MMA when I was leaving, but Karen Bryant is interviewing him, and he's very well spoken.
Yeah.
And then there's a second interview, and he's
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's heartbreaking, but it's happening now to everybody.
Yeah.
And these big promoters aren't doing nothing.
Do you think that's affected Nate Diaz at all?
It's funny. I worked with Nate the last one we fought Jake Paul. He said, no, he goes, I've been speaking like this all my life.
Yeah.
Ever since I've known him, he's spoken like that, So I think he's all right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate and good people, bro.
Yeah, no, Popeye said the same thing. And he goes, hey, bro, I ain't going to say nothing about Nate Diaz because when I see him, then I'm about to deal with that shit.
Yeah. No, he's crazy as shit, man.
Yeah.
But you know, he's one of those guys that come and I love you.
Yeah, 100%.
So I understand. You know, I mean, he's from Stockton. We're both from the 209.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and as a matter of fact, and I'll show you a picture when he fought, I wore the Huelga patch on his outfit.
Okay.
You know, so Nate Diaz had my cornerman jacket, the Huelga patch, just in support of the Latinos.
Nice.
You know, so.
Gypsy King, I want to ask you about Gypsy King working his corner.
Oh yeah, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
How was it working?
Well, you know, it's funny because he fought Vladimir.
Okay.
And beat Vladimir.
Yeah.
So they called, what had happened is when he fought this German guy and he got cut or whatever his name, Jorge Capetillo was a cutman, but he's not a cutman, he's a trainer. Okay. And what he was doing, he was opening up the gym for Tyson and all that, and they became friends. And when he got cut, Jorge did everything wrong. And I met with him like 3 days later because we're friends. I said, look, man, all eyes were on you. You opened up the life of a cutman. Being Latinos, you brought our credibility up, but there's some things that you did wrong that I'm going to show you how to do them right for the next time he fights. All eyes are going to be on you. So I dealt with him a little bit and showed him what he had to do and all that. But during that process, he's the one that told Tyson Fury and Bob Arum, nah, get stitched because he's a better cut man than me. And so I went and met with him and shook his hands. And, you know, we talked about his cuts and, you know, looked at him and I told him about the ice factor and what have you not.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, you know. And then we talked about sponsors. That's why, you know, I work with sponsors. You know, would you mind if I made an outfit with your colors and all that? And I put my sponsors on it.
Yeah.
He puts his hand on my shoulder. Stitch, you could do anything you want except no drugs, alcohol, or firearms.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Say less.
So, but working with him was blast, man. It was fun, you know. And one of the fun times. Crazy. But at the end, and I got pictures where I'm saying goodbye and he's in his shorts ready to go shower in the dressing room. And thank you for keeping ice on me. Yeah. I love you. Simple. But so effective.
When fighters have been previously cut throughout their career, does that affect them or make it easy or prone for them to get cut in the same place again?
Well, when you're talking about Nate Diaz, yes. You know? Okay. No, but they have so much scar tissue, right? Yeah. But, you know, it all depends on the angle, the punch and all that. There's nothing ever guaranteed that it's going to cut in the same spot, right? Somebody asked me about Vaseline. I said, well, in theory, the Vaseline was used so that the punches could slide off and all that. But if that was the case, nobody would be cut, right? So those are just, I don't know if they're theories or what, but I don't know.
What do you think of the bare knuckle fighting?
I love it.
You love it?
I started with Dave Feldman when they first started. Yeah. And I liked the promotion, right? But they all get cut. It's like a 90% cut ratio. And for a cut man like me, it's an ideal thing.
Yeah. And it's a great thing for you.
Yeah, it's great. But it's funny because Jason Washington contacted me through Cutman for Hire Supplies, and they created a cut cream for the healing process. And he called me. It's a CBD product with other healing agents. Hey, man, would you be interested in helping us? I said, well, what proof source do you have? That's my corporate mentality. Yeah. What proof? Well, that's what we called you. So I took him to the bare knuckle fights, bro. And I'll show you pictures. I took him to the bare knuckle fights and they all get cut and they sew him up in the dressing room. And so he would take a picture of them, give him the cream. A week later, they would send the picture back of the improvements. Tremendous. Wow. So they never did nothing, but I'm going to join forces with them and bring that right back out because it's not only for the fighters, but anybody, you know, you get cut at home, anybody, surgery. Yeah. Now you brought up tattoo. It caught my attention right off the when you first brought it up earlier. But that's something I want to do is test it on tattoos. Okay. Because when they get tattoos, you put a heating something, or you put something on it, right?
I mean, we put, what is it, the Aquaphor, or what is that stuff called? What is it?
Oh, Aquaphor?
Yeah, Aquaphor, yeah.
But it's
usually
not,
Aquaphor,
but there's no healing process. So, so maybe I'm gonna test it on tattoos.
On a fresh tattoo, yeah.
And if it works on fresh tattoos, bro, I'm out. But that's true, you know. But you know, plastic surgery and all that because it works. And I'll show you pictures of the results, and it's tremendous. Absolutely. But they have a lot of the other items in there are all healing aids. Aloe vera. Yeah. They got aloe vera, you know.
Yes, sir. So,
Yeah, so the cut cream.
So, okay, so before we get out of here, your top 5 all-time boxers. Top 5.
Man, that's like saying I like you better than Alex, man. I can't do that, bro.
No?
No,
Okay.
they're all my
Yeah.
babies, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you
No,
know,
I get it.
Josh Barnett in MMA, UFC was tremendous with me. You know, I worked with him in Japan for Pride, and you know, the Klitschko's. I mean, just Andre Ward, so many good people that I've worked with. So many good people, man. And,
Absolutely.
And you know, those are the kind of people I like working with. And so, yeah, it's tough to say.
100%, and I respect it too. Got you a couple presents right here, brother.
Yeah.
You know, Hoodstocks, sweater, t-shirt, a hat, bro. Also 2, you know, car freshener.
Oh, for my mota. As a matter of fact, I at this company that they wanted to create a cannabis line. On me, and they called me and.
Do you smoke?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I
could have been smoking and drinking this whole time.
I vape. And the reason I can't smoke weed is because people see me all the time.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I got to respect them and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, they called me. And
you don't want to be right here losing your mind on live on a camera. They'd be like, damn, there goes my cut man.
Yeah. Fuck, I didn't know. no, but listen to this. So they called me. In fact, I'm meeting with the guys again tomorrow. And I said, look, the best stuff I ever smoked was the year I was stationed in Thailand. Thai stick.
Yeah.
If you can make something as good as that, we'll call it Thai Stitch. And they love the name.
Yeah.
You know? And but right now, I want to concentrate more on the cut cream. And
sheesh.
Yeah. So
in the business, baby.
Yeah. But it's
you're
just,
gonna see him on the Home Shopping Network. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tell you, things just happen, man. You know, just people call me and yeah, you know, and of course, you know, so yeah.
Good things happen to good people, right?
Good things happen to good people, man.
Testament.
You know,
yeah, I wasn't sure, brother. And thank you so much for making this interview super easy for me and just going, man.
Yep.
I mean, you an OG, you a legend, you've been doing your thing. So I was a little nervous coming into this, as you've seen. I was like, you're like,
sweating.
I was sweating, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, damn.
Yeah, that's funny, man. In closing, when I did, I went back home, showed the video to all my friends and all that. With this one cannabis shop, found out I was there and asked if I would come by and give me some samples. Man, they loaned me all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all right, thanks, man.
Like I'm in high sense.
That's when I felt like a celebrity, you know.
Yeah.
You know, take a picture with that. So
absolutely.
Yeah, but I've been smoking weed since I was in Thailand.
There you go.
That,
yeah, I mean it's therapy for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a wake and bake type of person. I'm more of just casually, sometimes socially. I feel like it. I'm gonna watch a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's the way it should be. Yeah. The old days, you get stoned and shit. I'll tell you a story in Thailand.
So you ever been in a corner high as fuck, like, damn, this is a fucked up cut?
No, that I don't do.
Start getting paranoid and shit.
No, but here I am in Thailand, right? And I've been there. I told you, friends were there like 3 months before me. So, you know, the first week, 2 weeks, they take me downtown. They have their own bungalows in Banchan. And there they smoke their weed in a bong. The bong, it's bamboo with the stem, and then the base is a coconut.
Nice.
So I didn't know what the hell Thai stick was, bro. And I'm thinking, shit. 15 minutes later, I'm in the Papasan chair like this, and I hear, whoa, and I look and I see Asians walking in. I thought it was a Viet Cong, bro. I accepted death.
Yeah.
Literally, I thought I was dead. But they were friends of my friends.
There you go, man.
Anyway.
Good thing you didn't have a weapon on you, bro. You
know
what I mean?
Shit,
like
yeah. We all would have been dead.
Yeah. And shot yourself.
Yeah. So that was my story, man. I'm sticking to it.
Hey, there you go, brother. Everybody, Mr. Stitch Duran. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much,
anytime,
man.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
No, of course, man.
Yes, sir.
Andale.
Yeah, any way people can support you, you know?
Well, you know, go to all these boxing people, Cutman for Hire Supplies. Mm-hmm. Help him out. It's Juan Ramirez. So I had my own tape and my own KO swell and all that, and I was always traveling. So if you order, I'd get it to you late, right?
Yeah.
So just through a dream, I said, Juan, and he had just started his business, Cutman for Hire Supplies. Look, would you be interested in carrying my tape and my KO swell, and I'll help you in the promos? Yeah, of course, we jumped on it, right? So he's doing real good. Well, anyway, Eddie Reynoso and Canelo found out about it. So they started buying tape from Juan, and Canelo uses that for his...
Wow.
He uses it for his promo shots and for the fights. But when he fought, I went to the dressing room when he got there here in Vegas, And I walk up to him and I say, hey man, I just want to say thank you in Spanish. Muchas gracias.
Yeah.
¿Por qué? So I told him the story. He said, nah, man, because we got to help each other out.
Hey.
So, and then we did the Creed 3 movie together.
Yeah.
The first thing he asked me is, I've never met him before, right? Shake hands and, hey, how many hands have you wrapped? How long have you been wrapping hands? Yeah. I said, oh, about 30 years. You know, the first question he asked, man. Yeah. So, yeah, straight to the point, man. So I've had a lot of good stories, man. We'll do it again, bro.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we'll do it again. I don't get to LA too often, but ever
brother,
do, man. Let's see your studio. And,
I would love to have you in my comfort zone, in my dojo. You know, it's a professional studio. We've been doing this going on 7 years.
I love it, man.
You know, we're just, I'm a street dude that's changed my life. And obviously, we're doing big things now, right? Mr. Stitch Duran, baby. Hey, thank you, OG. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Of course,
yes, sir. We out of here.
That's a wrap.
On the way back to the plaza, guys. That's what we do. Got me a little golf cart to be lazy with it. You'll check out the plaza right now. Still got a lot of work to do over here. Gotta build a shop. Gotta build that lowrider shop, you know? We can fuck with the lowriders. I'm just gonna jack up parking right here. Fuck it. I can do that, you know why? Because it's my shit. Bam. Put a little brake on. I think it's a good and a bad thing having a shop because I park all my fucking, oops, sorry, but I park all my cars here. I don't got enough room at the house. I work on them. That's what we do. It's all about the culture. It's not just about tattooing, low riding, tattoo, low riding, cars. This shit keeps me busy. I'm 10 years sober. This shop, tattooing, all these cars, that shit basically saved my life. If it wasn't for none of that shit, fuck, I don't know where I would be. But if you guys look at the shop, I got a lot going on. I've only been here 5 months. I bought the shop 5 months ago. It's in a working process. I'll show you guys the shop. What's up, brother? Over here. You got this door open. You got the food guy here. And my boy selling the comida, the drinks. You got his catting and gatting over here. You got Lino. You got Don getting it in. Let's go show you the rest of the shop. This is my food guy right here. This is my guy. The drinks, the lemonades, the best lemonades in the IE. Best ones, hands down. If you got cottonmouth, right there. Cottonmouth. You guys chatting and gatting over here. Smartest Adrian. Joe. Just got here. Give me 1 full year in this bad boy. I'll have everything hopefully put together. This is the secret room right here. This is where I keep all my junk. Not kidding. We're shop. That's a 500-gallon fish tank. A walk-around fish tank. Sharks. That's Big Bruce, and that's Little Bruce. Little Bruce got the little head, Big Bruce got the big head. If you don't see it, you got the little stingrays right here hiding. You know, they're in trouble probably. That's why they're hiding. I would hide around those bad boys too. I don't just tattoo, guys. I buy and sell lowriders. You guys need lowrider parts, wheels and tires. Eventually, this is what this is going to be. I want to sell lowrider parts, tires, start doing hydraulics. I'm going to open up that right here. I got arcade for the kids. You want to come get tatted? I got a cage. I got the back patio. I mean, like I said, guys, this right here is basically I keep all the extra stuff. It's not organized. That's why it's back here, you know? Let's go show you guys more of the shop. So if you guys see this, all this right here, I got half acre. I got half acre just straight for everything. Tattoos. Let me close this up real quick. Another artist's room. I got farm artists. I'm an artist, an independent artist. They come and go as they please. They all got families. They're all older with them. They come. They're not sober, but if you come in here and you see my artists tattooing, they don't drink. And this is behind my back, but they don't. I got the kitchen. So if you guys haven't noticed yet, this is my kitchen, right? So about 7 months ago, I was 97 pounds heavier than what I am right now. All these guys that got Ink Man, that fucking all fit ya. He's all into fitness. Just by him being at the shop, see him meal prep, fucking, and go to the gym. I was 95, 97 pounds heavier. I was like, man, I got to do it. So I had to get on my horse. I cheated a little bit, but you know. What you got to eat today?
I got chicken burritos or
Ooh.
I got chicken.
You guys want to join a raffle, hit up Tattoos by Bob. Got these raffles going on, 20 bucks a ticket. You can win either raffle. I think someone's calling us. Let's see who it is. Hello. I ain't got time for no bullshit. That's the bullshit phone right there. I ain't got time for that. So that's why I stayed in the corner. You got Bobo over here slanging. What's up, Bobo? Hey! How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Just, you know, just working. Filming. What happened? Or do a video for the client, guys. Just got down on this tat. I just finished this bad boy up. She wants me to do a video of her tattoo that is bleeding, but it looks good. How long did it take me? 2 hours? It took me 2 hours, guys. 2 hours. There you go. Appreciate it. Now you gotta go home, okay? You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the fuck out. No. I love my clients. I love them all. You know, you chill, relax. Like I said, guys, eventually all this is gonna be open. We're fully open, but the whole shop, I got a lot of stuff to do, guys. So much shit to do. All this is gonna be open. Don't mind the mess. It's gonna be open this way, that way. I'm gonna get the keys. I'm gonna show you guys these spots over here that I do have for rent. You guys have an established business that you wanna, if you're at home and you have a business at home, a lot of people, I used to think, oh, I'm at home, I'm making more money. Nah, you gotta get established business and you're gonna kill it. I guarantee you, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to do that. Because I was 15, 20 years tattooing. I've been here, mother shop, 7 years ago. 20 years tattooing, 7 years ago, I was barely started tattooing in the shop. Because I always thought I made more money. Let me get my keys and we'll go next door. All right, guys, this room right here is where all the magic happens. And I'm gonna take you guys here. I'm just kidding. These rooms are available for rent. I just renovated them. I'm almost done. I just got to do baseboards. I got to do a vanity. I just put toilets. So this is available for rent. First one, they give me a deposit. Come look at it. It is a storefront for Foothill Boulevard. All this will be open. Like I said, guys, if you have established business and you're working at home, expand. Don't be afraid to expand your business. I guarantee you, you'll do good. You just cannot be scared. Don't be afraid to sacrifice. And sacrifice meaning get away from the house. If you got to get away from the family and the kids to expand your business, that's a sacrifice. You got to spend most of your money, that's a sacrifice. No matter what it is, you got to sacrifice in this shit. No matter what you do in your industry, in your business, you got to go all out. These are all available. Whatever business you have, let me know. I would love for this to be a barber shop. I'm looking for 3 to 4 barbers. Either one barber that had a shop could come and have another shop, or individual barbers. If I have to do that, then that's what it is. But this could be a, look at this, look at it. You want your clients to get cut and look at the view, look at some tires, but it is a view, it's a nice view, but it's an establishment. Cool establishment. You got a back door. What are you waiting for? I'm talking about you, your business. What are you waiting for? That was a good one, huh? See, when I'm not doing nothing, guys, this is my main thing. When I'm not, this is my home. So if you guys want to expand your business, this is basically your home. Waiting for my client, come out here, work on my cars, or clean it, do whatever. That's how it is. That's what you got to do. You just got to, with every risk, there's a reward. Just got to go out there and do it, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who support me. I'm always willing to help you guys if you ever need anything. If you ever need a hand, just I'm there. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.